Well, good evening, everybody. I'm going to try this once again. Let me go ahead and, give me just a moment. I got to take care of something real quick. Uh, yeah. Um, Apparently, something went horribly wrong with my live stream tonight. I'm not sure exactly what went wrong, but boy, it sure did. And we're going to have to do this again. Wow, I cannot believe what happened. Not only did you not get all the stuff that I was trying to tell you guys, and I'm going to try to tell it to you again, but apparently it caught me while I was having difficulties with trying to get the live stream going. And so therefore, we're going to do this one more time, okay? Now, in this video, in honor of Crazy Josh Cravey, I'm going to tell you exactly what we're going to discuss all the way through. The first thing we're going to discuss is what happened when I became ill with COVID. The second thing we're going to discuss is this blizzard that we had this past week, and I'll discuss that with you on this. The next thing we're going to discuss is this card, and I'm going to discuss this in just a minute. The next thing we're going to discuss is my previous Kindle book, Did You Remember Everything? And then finally, we're going to discuss, I'm going to have another Kindle book entitled, Did You Remember Everything Part 2? And this is going to be kind of impromptu. I'm sorry I didn't let you guys know that I was going to do this. I'm kind of glad I didn't because the live stream didn't work the last time. So we're going to try this again, and hopefully we'll get it right this time. Who knows? We'll try. Anyway, let's begin with this. Right after Christmas time, I ended up coming down with COVID, and I can honestly tell you that I only ran a fever for a couple of days. That's all I did. It was 2 days of fever, and that part was over. Okay, so I really didn't feel like, there's a lot of people that are saying, I felt a lot worse. I didn't feel that bad, really. But the problem became that I developed laryngitis, and I could not do a live stream with laryngitis. I fought laryngitis for almost 2 weeks. That is not a joke. I fought it. It was horrible. Anyway, so as my laryngitis finally improved, I started getting back on an exercise routine. And for the first couple of days of being on the exercise routine, during the time I was actually exercising, not the rest of the time I was fine. But during the time I was exercising, there was a little out of breath coming out for that. But as I got more and more back into exercising, all that has improved. Everything is fine now, and I'm great and fantastic, and that was all there was. But the thing is, I could not talk, and so therefore I really could not make the presentation I wanted to make to you guys. All right. Then, after all that, you would think that would be enough, but oh no, we have the biggest blizzard you've ever seen in your life. We almost got, well, it was about 14 inches of snow here. 14, keep that in mind, over a period of 2 days. Okay. So, my employer finally called me. He says, I know you're the night shift. We're going to have to close our store early. There is no way we can keep this open. Boom, there we go. And for 2 days, I just couldn't come into work, literally. I mean, I fought snow every hour on the hour until it was over. And that is no joke, people. So, anyway, that was all there was. And that is why I have not made any videos since December 18th. And apparently tonight when I tried to make a live stream, it didn't work out near as well as I'd hoped. But anyway, one of the things I wanted to talk to you guys about tonight, and this like a little impromptu, I wasn't really planning to do all this, was our store, the store I work at, because I work in retail, we're one of the several people who have acquired these new card readers. And one of the things I have difficulty with, and I'm going to make a whole video about this, not tonight, but I will next time, okay, is that people don't recognize that this is right side up and this is upside down. Okay, I'm going to say that again. This is right side up and this is upside down. Now, don't worry, folks. This card is dead. It's not going anywhere. Nothing's going to be done with this card. So That's why I can show it to you. I can't show you a real credit card or some bank card or something like that. I'm not going to show you that. But this gift card is gone. There's nothing on it. It's a dead card, so nothing's going to happen to it. That's why I'm showing it to you. You think I'd show you a real live credit card on this thing? Oh, heck no. That's never going to happen. But anyway, what you would do is with these new card readers, you would slide it in like this to actually, use it. Okay. So when the clerk tells you to turn it upside down, what he's actually saying is turn it upside down. The magnetic strip would be on the upside down part. And then you would just, like I said, you would slide it in and do your stuff. All right. Now, I do know that these new card readers, they have a symbol, looks like a telephone speaker. Now, what you're supposed to do with that, you're supposed to just, you have to hold it to the screen long enough for it to do it. It's what it's supposed to do. Some people just go like this and it doesn't do anything. But you're supposed to hold on to it a little while longer until it actually beeps. Okay. When you hear the beep, that's when it's done. But if you don't hear any beep yet, you'll often hear this beep, 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 beep. Well, if you hear a beep, 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 then that's not that it didn't work. Okay. But if you hear just one beep, then it works. So just keep that in mind. All right. And I will make a whole video about that the next time I do this. Okay. Now, next. What about did you remember everything? Now, I've had some people write to me. And I want to discuss, first of all, my Patreon and also my Kindle books. And the reason why I'm trying to discuss this is because for the past 4 years, since 2018, I have not been on the partner program. Okay. And I'm not getting a passive income. And let me tell you something. That is one of the reasons why I have not been uploading live streams for a while now, is because I have been working almost 40 hours a week, and then I have to cook and I have to do all the things that a bachelor would have to do. And I can't do that if, I can't run a YouTube live stream when all that's going on. It's impossible. It's just absolutely impossible. And so, that's what's been going on. And that's what, if you first have your COVID, then you have the blizzard, and all this time you're working 37 hours a week. You have to cook, you have to clean, you have to do all this other stuff. And there's just no time left for anything except sleep. And so there you go. And that's why the live streams don't run. But things have become more expensive. That is half the reason why I have not been taking these trips. Okay. You guys have been wanting me to do more of these looking for Lincoln trips. I can't do that. And part of it is because of the mask mandate. And that's, you see, when you still have a mask mandate, stores and restaurants will limit capacities in their places. Okay. To help stop the spread. That's what they do. Okay. Now, downstate here where I'm at, they don't do that very much. They do it a little bit, but not really all that bad. But up north, yeah, that's a different story. Okay. And that's one problem I've run into. But the thing is, gas prices have gone up big time. And it's not just the gas prices, food prices, you name it. They've all gone up big time. I mean, to do what I used to do for less than $100 would probably cost me about $200 a day. And that's no joke. But it gets even worse if you think about this for a second. If some part on your car breaks down, well, replacement parts have gone up too, as well as the price of servicing the car. You guys probably didn't even know that. All that's gone up too. So it is not practical at this time for me to drive and do a trip like that. I mean, I'd probably spend $200-300 just doing it. And that means that, I would love to be with you guys, but 37 hours a week, there's just no way. It just is impossible. And that's the problem. So what I need to do is develop a passive income. Now, I could do this through Patreon, and I would be more than happy to put some stuff on Patreon that you guys could actually pay for, and you'd be able to read it. Or through my Kindle books, either one. But in order for me to do some of the things you guys, and you have to think about this for a second. You wouldn't think that a book like this would be all that costly, but it is. I'd love to cover subjects like this, but they're so costly. Even at a rummage sale, they're costly. That's if you can find them. Okay. So books are really expensive too. Where's the money coming from? I don't have it. How about you? So if you want me to continue covering these topics, then that's what I'm going to have to do. I don't want to charge you guys an arm, leg, hand, and foot for anything. I've tried not to do that because I know you guys have been in a desperate situation. But I actually had a guy write to me not too long ago, and he told me he went to his business one day, and he was just going to go to work just like he always did. Business was closed, gone. He had no more job. And I had told him in previous videos that this is the kind of thing that was going to happen. He didn't believe me. Now he believes me. Too bad. It really is. I feel sad for him. I really do. But that's just too bad. That's how the cookie crumbles. So it is important that you guys are learning from me, because not only are you going to get some valuable information, but on top of that, that gets me back into the partnership where I can start making a passive income. And that way I can get access to books that I can start teaching again. Right now, though, all the best I can do at this point is, and I do have plans for this, I have music reviews that I'm going to do. You've seen that on my fan page. If you look at my fan page, you know I have music reviews right there. Secondly, I did watch Home Alone 2, and I made some notes about that, and I'm going to actually present that one of these days. But as long as I'm doing 37 hours a week, that's just not going to be possible, at least not for a while. One of these days, I'll have hopefully some real vacation days, and that's exactly what I'll do. But I got to work, folks. I really do, and that's just the way it is. So anyway, that's my situation, and I'm going to go ahead and discuss the book entitled "Did You Remember Everything?" Okay. The first thing I discussed in the book was I discussed what happened to me on September 8th of 2020. Okay. We had a storm roll in, and I temporarily lost power. Now, for those of you who have never really operated a Roku device, let me tell you how that goes. Okay. First of all, when the Roku first comes back on, all of your apps, say you have your Netflix app, you have your Fox News app, you have this app, you have that app, so on and so forth. They're all scattered everywhere, so you have to move them into positions where you can get to them quickly, okay? Because you don't want to have to go scroll through a whole bunch of apps just to find the one you want. Then you have to sign in with your username and passwords. This takes time. I'm not kidding you. Now, some people have a password book. I actually have one myself because I'm kind of old, and let me tell you something. When you have those passwords, and then you have to change the password, which gets even worse. There you go. So, but these memory techniques for the younger crowd. Now, you got to keep in mind, I'm about to turn 52. I will turn 52 in a few days. In a few days, I will be 52 years old. There is no question about that. But here's the thing. For some of you younger folks, if you can master these memory techniques of speed reading, bam, you wouldn't need a book like that. You really wouldn't. But anyway, I discussed that. And then in the next part of, now the thing with the first Did You Remember Everything book, I actually had two prefaces, not just one, but two. And the main reason that I had that like that, have you ever seen Amazon Kindle when you go buy a book, you have a preview? Yeah. If I give everything away before you guys even buy the book, well, why pay for something when you can get it for free? That's not you'll even notice this on my first and second Kindle books, where I was giving away already a ton of information through the preview before I got to the meat and potatoes of the book. That's why a lot of people didn't buy it. You see what I mean? So this time I want to say, okay, you're not getting all of this wonderful extra stuff for free. I'm going to make sure if you really want it, you pay for it, that kind of thing. So that was one of the reasons why I made a double preface. But there were some other things I wanted to cover. I wanted to talk about the May 21st, 2013 tornado that happened in El Reno, Oklahoma. And that was the one that killed Tim Samaras, who was a storm chaser. And the reason why I wanted to cover that is, let's say you're a healthcare worker. You have a storm like a great big tornado that wipes out not only your internet, but your power as well. So now you're on your emergency power. You still got patients that you have to treat. You have no internet access. What are you going to do then? Think about it. That's why you need these memory techniques and the speed reading, okay? You can't always depend on the internet. It doesn't work that way, people. It really doesn't. There is no magic cloud. It's just a bunch of servers in some other distant location. If you can't get access to them because your storm has knocked out all your internet, you're going to be in a heck of a lot of trouble in a real quick time. That's why I brought up the tornado story. Okay? Now, and then I wanted you guys, when I wrote the first Did You Remember Everything book, I brought up my first memory video. Do you guys remember that? Okay. I spent the first 2 minutes of that memory video trying to get you guys to watch another video entitled Navigating My YouTube Channel for a reason. Because if you went all the way to the end of that video, I discussed a book that I wanted you to buy. It wasn't one of my books. It was another book I wanted you to buy for the purposes of understanding what I was writing in the book, Did You Remember Everything? How many of you guys actually read my Did You Remember Everything book and then proceeded to watch the Navigating My YouTube Channel video to find out what book I wanted you to read? This has gotten to be so bad that I actually found a link, a hyperlink, okay, to a web page that discusses the PEG system of memory. And I posted that on my Speed Learner fan page. How many of you people actually read that web article? I can see that. So there you are. There you have it. And so all this is going on. And that was what I wanted to discuss in my Kindle book. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out what else I want to discuss. Oh, yes. I discussed about the jokes. How many of you people tried to get the July 1996 edition of the Reader's Digest so you would know what jokes I was referring to in my memory videos? I think I know the answer to that. Wasn't very many, I can tell you that. It's readily available. You can just go up, you order it, boom, there you go. And people are like, well, I don't want to spend that money. Well, you know what? A little money on yourself is not going to hurt, especially right now. Look at your store shelves, people. Look at the price on the pump. Go ahead, try to get your car repaired. See what happens. What happens if your computer breaks down? Ever think about that? That's what I thought. So there you go. There you have it. There was some other stuff I discussed in here. Let me go down just a little bit more. Oh, yes. I also discussed, because I had started this book before 2020, okay? And I was thinking, at that time, it was closer to Christmas time, I was thinking about going to these winter parties, okay? And how many times have you gone to a party like this and you pulled out your phone to try to find something on the internet to discuss at the party? Well, if you have these advanced memory techniques and speed reading, you don't have that problem. You always have something to talk about. There you go. You see how my book could solve so many problems? There you go. And like I said, I know that the the preface to my book was rather lengthy, but now do you see why it was lengthy? Yes, it was to prevent people from reading all this stuff for free, but on the other hand, it was also to give you guys some excellent ideas and excellent thoughts. It was to cause you guys to really think about what I was saying. So, there you go. There you have it. Anyway, that's what I wanted to say tonight. I'm kind of glad that you didn't see the last one because I was really kind of I wasn't exactly stuttering or anything like that. It was just more of I was just kind of being super casual and I just didn't relate as well as I'm relating here. Again, I wanted to tell you guys I did not want to be gone this long from YouTube. I really didn't, but it couldn't be helped. Anyway, that's what this has been all about. And I see I got a couple people in here now. I hope you guys, I hope this live stream works out better this time than it did the last time. I hope you guys will watch it and see what's going on, et cetera, et cetera. But it was just, let me see if I, Crazy Josh Cravey taught me this trick. He said to see if even this is, let's see. Oh, what that? This thing can pick up Xfinity hotspots, okay? Because that's the company I go through for my internet. And when it does, it screws up. Let me go off that. Let's see. Oh, I thought I would actually say something. Oh, let's see. How about my channel? Oh. Okay. It's running a little bit of a time delay, but there you go. Okay, so apparently I'm broadcasting now. I didn't realize I wasn't broadcasting last time, so yeah. Let's get that off of there. Woo! Okay, so apparently this is finally going through. Hopefully it'll stay. I don't know what happened the last time, but it really went south. Anyway, whoever's out there tonight, I see I got 3 people at my live stream tonight. How's it going, everybody? Pleasure to see you. I wish I could pronounce your name, but I can't. So who else is watching me tonight? So anyway, the main thing I want to tell you guys is I didn't want to be the way this long, but this is what happens. I mean, this is part of my life now. And until things change, I can't be here. I want to be. I really do. And I'm trying to make notes. And I'm trying to communicate with you guys on the fan page. But if I don't get support from, say, like Patreon or people buy my Kindle books or back on the partnership program and trying to get some passive income, I mean, eventually I'm going to have to start getting 2 or 3 jobs. And I don't want to do that. I really don't. That would really cut into my YouTube after that. So it's really up to you guys. If you really want to support me, support me. I really would appreciate it. But that's up to you. But that is the main reason why I have not been on. Between the COVID and the blizzards, and then just ultimately the expense. My gosh, I was in a lot better shape last year than I was this year. Literally, things have changed so much. So anyway, that I just want to tell you guys what's been going on, and to assure you, I'm not trying to keep away from you guys. And I want to thank you very much for being patient with me. And I'm glad you guys were here. Really. So not much else to tell you at this point. I'm trying to think of anything to tell you, but I'm just kind of coming up empty at this point. But I was glad to be here tonight, and I appreciate you guys watching me tonight. And you can rewind this as much as your heart's content. And more importantly, I encourage you guys to buy the Kindle books or support me on Patreon or whatever. If you need links to any of that stuff, you just let me know and I'll send them to you. And there is going to be another Did You Remember Everything book. It's going to be designed much the same way as my original. Both of these books start out with jokes. If you can't memorize a joke, you can't memorize anything else. That's all there is to it. When it came to this first book, I was teaching you guys how to memorize candy and soda pop facts. You say, well, what was the big deal about that? If you can't memorize something small, you certainly can't memorize something big. And that's why I was moving you from one stage to the next to the next. That was the whole thing about the James Burke stuff, too. Now, keep that in mind. James Burke, he had a TV show called Connections. He then published a book called Connections. Then he published a book called American Connections. I have the books because the DVDs are way too expensive, and I have no intentions of spending $300-400 for DVDs that have the TV series. That's not going to happen. But there's other material besides that in the book. And I'd like someday to discuss that, either here on YouTube or somewhere else. I don't care. I'd like to discuss that. Let's see you guys do that. Anyway, but that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing. So hopefully one of these days we'll be able to discuss it. And again, like I said, I've got notes for future videos already done. A lot of them are already there on the Facebook page. I did review Home Alone 2. I watched it, made some notes, and I will review that one of these days soon. But tonight, I've got to go to work tomorrow. I will have to work all the way till Friday. And even though I'll have the day off on Friday, I don't know what's going to happen. A lot of it's going to be cooking, and I don't know. I don't know what else I'm going to do. So there's your answer. There you go. I wanted to thank you guys very, very much for watching me tonight. And I hope you guys all have a great evening. It is warming up around here, so the snow is finally melting, and it's making things a lot easier for me. But in the meantime, all right. I wanted to thank everybody here for watching me tonight, and I hope you enjoyed my presentation. And in the not-so-distant future, we'll see what we can do. If you guys have alternatives where I can publish things and make a little bit of, residual income from a different website, I'm interested. We'll just see. All right. I will tell you more in a future video, so I'd like for you to stay tuned.